Okay, hello again, everyone. So let's just get comfortable. So either lying down, sitting, doesn't matter, up to you. We're just going to center ourselves. We start this way every single time. First of all, just to give your body, yourself, a place to begin. It's like starting over again. And you can do this anytime throughout your day, just taking time to just stop, pause, settle yourself so that you can begin again. It's like a restart. And sometimes we need that restart because the day goes all blank. So then we just need to stop, center, settle, and then we can start again, maybe in a different perspective, a different mindset. So let's do that right now. Just beginning to settle your body, settling your mind, settling your breath. And let yourself just be here for a moment, restarting your day, letting go of whatever's happened this morning so far. Just move it off your mat. Finding your center. And then finding your breath. And just observing your breath moving in and out of your body. And then begin to do a little check-in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling. What you're feeling, where you're feeling, how you're feeling it, without getting attached to anything. So just notice and then allow that to move on. And if you'd like to set an intention for this practice today, so something that you would like to focus on, or whatever brought you to practice today, take a moment and honor that intention. And then bring your attention down towards your feet. Just notice how your feet are feeling. How far away are your feet from your center? Just noticing how your feet are feeling. And you go ahead and you can move them around if you want to. Just noticing them. So we're going to focus on the feet today. We are going to move the rest of our bodies too. We're just going to warm ourselves up and get some blood moving. But the focus will be on the feet today. We spend a lot of time on our feet and we don't give them the credit that they deserve. We take them for granted. So we're going to spend a little bit more time on them today. So as you breathe, direct your breath to your feet. Just breathe normally, but put that directness, that awareness towards the feet. And as you're breathing, just notice your toes. Maybe some of your toes are touching. Maybe some of them are not touching. Maybe you can notice that. Maybe you can't. And that's totally fine. Just notice whatever you can notice. So just noticing those toes. And then notice the heel, the bottom of the heel, and that whole area of the heel. You might even visualize it in your mind. And then from the heel, going along the bottom part of your foot, notice the arch of your foot. Maybe it is a very strong arch, high arch. Maybe if there's hardly any arch there at all. Just notice there is usually an arch. Regardless if you have a flat foot, there is an arch there. And just notice it. What the feeling is in your feet as well too. In that arch area. And then moving into the ball of your foot. So underneath the toes, above the arch. The ball of the foot, and just noticing what you notice there. And don't feel bad or judge yourself if you don't feel anything. It's totally fine. Just bring your awareness to that area. As you practice this, you might notice a little bit more sensation or a little bit more something. It just takes practice. Okay. And then bring your awareness to the top part of the foot. The top part of the arch, and just notice what you notice there. And then bring your awareness to your ankle. So all around your ankle. Just noticing what you notice, both ankles. And then bring your awareness to your Achilles tendon. So from your heel up to your ankle along the back. The Achilles tendon right there. Some people's might be sore. Some people might not even notice it's there. Just notice. Just bring your attention there. Just notice what you notice. You might notice it more on one foot than the other. Okay. Now bring your arms above your head, behind your head, if you're lying on the ground, and just give yourself a nice little stretch. You can point your toes, you can flex your feet if you like. So this whole practice can be on standing up, lying down, or sitting in a chair. You can do either one of them. Okay, so whatever serves you the best in any of the different positions. Okay. And then we're just going to start moving the rest of the body. So just relax your arms. You can do whatever you like with your legs. We're just going to move your head just from side to side. So if you're lying down, you just move your head from side to side. If you're sitting in a chair, sitting up, just move your head from side to side. And just notice the movement. We're just getting some blood flowing. Okay, and then bring your head back to center as you after you do that. And then we'll just move the head up and down. Again, just move it how you can move it. There might not be much movement in any of these positions, and it's totally fine. Just do what you can. And feel free to change the position that you're in as well too at any time. Okay, one more time, lifting the head up and down. And then bring your head back to center. And then just with the tip of the nose, you're just going to start to make some circles. Circles in your head. And they can be small or large, entirely up to you. And then we'll go in the other direction. Again, small or large, up to you. Okay, and then let that head rest. Bring your head back to center. Bring the shoulders up towards your ears. Just lift them up and then slowly bring them down. We're going nice and slow. Shoulders up towards the ears and slide them back down. And again, if you want to change your position that you're in, you're very welcome to. Shoulders to ears and slide them down. And one more time, shoulders to ears and slide them down. Good. Then you're going to wrap your arms around yourself, reaching towards your shoulder blades, just as far as you can. Maybe you can reach your shoulder blades. Maybe you just reach your shoulders. You reach wherever you can reach. Yeah. Okay. So just giving yourself a little hug. Yeah. And then inhale, open up the arms wide. And then bring the other arm on top. So whatever arm you did, do the opposite. And again, just give yourself a hug. Opening up that back. And then open up your arms again, nice and wide. And then reach your arms above your head, behind your head. Behind and above your head. Reach. Good. And then we'll just wiggle those fingers down by your hips. Wiggle all the way down. Good. We'll just do a few circles in the wrists. You can bring your hands wherever you like. It goes in the wrists. And then go in the opposite direction. Shake out the hands and then just bend and straighten the elbows. Bend and straighten the elbows. It's like you're doing bicep curls, but we're not getting too serious here. We're just getting that blood moving. Okay, release the arms, just let them come down. So if you're sitting, we're going to do some cows and cats. If you're lying down, you're just going to do some pelvic tilts. Same thing. Okay, so lying down, pelvic tilts, cow and cat. We're just moving and tilting the pelvis back and forth. So up to you what you like to do here. And if you want to go on your hands and knees, you're very welcome to do so. Again, anything goes here. You can do this in pretty much any position that you're in. So I'll just show you all the positions. So if you were lying down, you're just tilting the pelvis like that. It's the same movement. If you're sitting, like I was doing, I'm just doing this. On your hands and knees. Just do this. And if you're standing, you can do this thing in any position that you're in. Okay, cow and cat, however you want to do it. And just getting that movement in your spine. Let's do maybe two more. And we're going slow, okay? I was going a little bit fast because I wanted to show all the different the different variations. Okay. One last one. And then we'll just take a moment. And then we're going to get into a twist. So if you're seated, we're just going to twist our upper bodies. If you're lying down, just twist your knees over towards one side. So if you're seated, you're just twisting your upper body over. Just to one side, just take a moment here. You can bring your arms wherever you feel comfortable. And feel free to look in the same direction as you're moving or in the opposite direction, but don't force anything. And then come back through center, and then we'll go in the other direction. Again, if you're seated, you're moving your upper body. If you're lying down, you're moving your lower body. Make sure you're breathing. Good. And then come back through center. Okay. So if you're seated, you're going to reach your legs out. If you're lying down, you're going to reach your legs out. And you're just going to shake out your legs. Okay. And then we'll take your right leg in. So just bring it in. Yeah, bring it in. Hug it in as much as you can. Good. And then we're going to point and flex the foot. And just point and flex the foot. And again, you can change your position however you want. Yeah, you're just hugging in that right knee, point and flexing the foot. So if you're seated, try to sit up nice and tall. If you're lying down on the ground, try to make yourself balanced in your upper body onto the ground. Okay, and then let's do some ankle circles. And that foot can stay down onto the ground too. Does not have to be lifted up. Although this is really good for your core and your hip flexors, if you can get that leg up. Okay, and then bring that leg down and stretch it back out again. Get a little shake. And then we'll bring that left knee in. And then we're going to be pointing and flexing the foot. And you can lift the foot up if you want to, or keep the foot on the ground. Up to you. Just make sure you're breathing. Go slow. Couple more times. Okay, and then we'll start to do some circles. The ankle. And the other direction. And then stretch that leg out. Give them a little shake. Good. Okay. So we're going to, you can sit however you like. I'm going to cross my legs, easier for me, but you do what you can do. If you're lying down, you can actually sit up now. So we're sitting up or in a chair, either or. Okay. Put your hands on your knees. Legs can be straight or however you want. We're just going to go around in some circles. Sit however you like. Doesn't matter how you're seated. As long as you get some mobility in around the hips area. Couple times or a few times in one direction and then go in the other direction. Everyone went in both directions. Stretch out your legs again. Just give them a little stretch. Open up your arms. Reach, reach, reach. And this time you're going to bring your arms behind you. Clasp your hands or your elbows or your wrists, whatever you like, and just open up through your chest. You can look up if you want to. It's just opening up. And you can bring your hands back behind you too. That's support to support you. Just opening up through the chest. Good. Okay. And then just shake it out. Okay. Then get comfortable. Okay. You can sit on a knee pad if you want to, whatever you want to, or you sit on a chair. Let's look at your feet. Look at your feet. Really look at your feet. Phew. No. We're not negativity. No negativity here. Our feet are beautiful.
Thank you for your.
Everyone say that. My feet are beautiful. They're not that, exactly. They take us where we need to go. They support us in so many ways, right? So just look at your feet, look at all the toes, look at your big toes, look at your second toes. They might be longer than your big toes, they might be fatter than your big toes. And then look at your third toe, notice those toes, see if they're maybe the same height or longer or shorter than the second toe or the big toe. Then look at the fourth toe, notice the what's going on with that little toe. And then look at your little baby toe. Some people have really tiny little baby toes, and some people have longer toes. Some people have longer toes than the bigger toe. I mean, it is what it is. So you just notice your toes. Just pay attention to them. Look at them. Maybe you have nail polish on. Look at your nail polish. If you don't, just notice the length of your nails. Look at how much of a nail you have. Maybe you have a large nail bed. Maybe you have just a little tiny nail bed. Some people have on their little pinky toe hardly any nail. So just notice what is the notice. Okay, now let's see if we can spread out the toes. See if you can spread them out. Okay, sometimes we have to say into our head, toes spread, move. Some toes do not want to move. And that's totally fine. You're going to notice which toes don't want to move. Good. And then squeeze them together. Squeeze those toes together. Squeeze. We're not pointing, we're just squeezing those toes. Be careful that you don't give yourself a cramp. Okay. Now again, spread out those toes wide as you can. And the ones that did not want to create some space, see if you can give them a little bit more space. And yeah, maybe you need to put your fingers there and push them apart a little bit. Because sometimes that connection from the brain down to the toes, it's a long way. Sometimes that connection is not totally there. It will get there with practice if you do practice this a lot. Okay, and then just wiggle your toes around. So wiggle all the toes, wiggle them around. Good. Well, feel free just to change your position anytime. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to move the toes outwards. So they're going to move them out. Maybe for some people, they can get their pinkies onto the ground. Some people cannot. Oh my God, not even close. And then we're going to move the big toes towards each other. Okay, so this is coming from your hips. Okay, but it goes all the way down into your feet. Okay, so don't force it. It'll go as far as it goes, right? Okay, do that again. Bring the toes out. See if you can get those pinky toes down towards the ground without forcing it. Okay, breathe. Make sure you're breathing. Don't force. Some people can do it. Some people can't. Okay, and then bring the big toes together. Maybe those big toes can touch the ground. Some do, some don't. Don't force it. It's just the way you're built. Okay. Okay, and then bring your feet back. Okay, and then let's point the feet. Lengthen through the front part of the body. Okay, don't do it so much that you're cramping in your toes. Sometimes that happens. You have to release them and then go back into it. You can do that a few times. Just release and point. Release and point. Okay, and then we're going to flex the feet. Flex the feet. So we're lengthening through the back part of the body now, getting into that Achilles tendon a little bit more. And then see if we can spread the toes a little wider here. And still breathe and not screw up your face. Like relax your face, relax your eyes and your jaw. Good. And then relax the feet. Okay. Take a moment, just shake them out. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Okay. So bring your right knee in. Bring your right foot in. Okay. It doesn't have to come in so close. Okay. And we're going to, if you want to sit up on a chair for this, anybody, you can do that, or you can stand. Okay. We're going to lift up the heel. Okay. So kind of like a high heel. So we're putting the ball of the foot into the ground. We're lifting up the heel. Okay. Okay. It's just as high as you can. And your foot can be right here, or you can stand up and you can do it like this as well too. This is always an option, or you can sit into a chair and do this. Okay. That's always an option. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and move. Sure. Okay. We're just pushing our toes into the ground, lifting up the heel as much as you want to, and then changing your position if you want to. If you feel like you'll have a little bit more stability, come back up onto standing. I'm just going to turn so people can see what I'm doing. Okay. And then we're going to bring that heel down. And then we're going to bring the heel up. So we're just going to do this a few times, putting the weight into all 5 toes and then bringing that heel back down. So lifting up the heel and bringing it down. And lifting it up and bringing it down. Yeah, either standing or sitting, up to you. Lifting up the heel and bringing it down. Good. You want to make sure that all 5 toes are connected, because sometimes the weight doesn't go into all 5 toes if we do this. Okay, let's do that one more time, into the toes. And then bringing the foot down. Okay, so now we're going to come into the heel. So just lift up the toes. And then bring the foot down. And then just lift up the toes. And bring the foot down. So lift up the toes this time. Lifting up the toes this time. Yeah, there we go. And bringing it down. Lifting up the toes. Down. A couple more times. Go slow. Make sure you're breathing. You're going to feel this in your calf muscle too. That's not a bad thing. It's all connected. We're not being too serious here. You know, we can smile. And let's do that one more time. Good. Okay, let's check out that foot. That foot worked really, really hard. You can feel that, right? It worked really, really hard. As we get older, there's a lot of people that lose the sensitivity in their feet. If you have diabetes, you definitely will lose sensitivity in your feet. So working on your feet constantly is really, really important. Okay, let's do the other side. So you're going to bring that knee in, okay, or standing up, either or. And we're going to come on to the ball of the foot. So just pressing in, we're just going to hold it here for a couple of moments. I'm just lifting up the heel as high as it will go. And again, it might not go very high. Don't worry if it does or it doesn't.
No, why heels in fashion these days.
Yeah, but this is different. High heels are not good for your feet. They're just plain not good for your posture or your body. They look nice. They look nice, but they're not good for you. Okay, now let's bring the heel back down. So coming back up. And so when we're doing this, the weight is getting and going into the ball of the foot, but it's also going into the toes. So just notice that and be gentle. Be gentle. Okay, and then we're going to come just up and down, just going nice and slow. You'll notice where the mobility is, how high you can move your foot, getting that foot working. And all these exercises are extremely simple. I mean, they're very, very simple exercises, but they do make a difference. So we're bringing awareness to what we're doing. We're bringing awareness to putting the weight into the toes and the ball of the foot, trying to get it as even as we can. And we're breathing. We're paying attention. We're going to do that a couple more times. Just go nice and slow. If you're standing up, make sure that you're balanced in that left foot. Well, the other foot as well, too, whatever foot is supporting you as you're standing up, if you're standing up. Okay, now we're going to lift up the toes of the ball of the foot, and we're just going to lift going to the heel. Okay, so feel free to make any adjustments that you need to make. Maybe you bend into your knees a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to bring the toes down and then come back into the heel. So you might find that you feel a little bit more in the Achilles heel. So just be gentle there. Okay, don't force it. That is a very, very delicate ligament back there. And if you overstretch it, oh, you'll know. It's not pretty and it takes a very, very long time to heal.
It's also in my calf.
Pardon me? You feel, yeah, because it's connected. Everything's connected. Yeah, you're gonna feel it in your calf too. Yeah. So lifting up those toes, slowly bringing the foot back down, moving into the heel, and bringing the foot down. Do that a couple more times. And last time. Good. Okay, let's shake out that foot. Shake out both feet now. Okay. So for this next one, I think if you can sit down on something, so sit down on the chair. Okay, sit down on the chair or sit up because you're going to reach towards your feet. You're going to try to grab hold of it. One foot at a time though. So grab hold of the foot. Okay, grab hold of the foot. So bring your foot up and you're just going to hold on to those feet. So you're just going to give your big toe a little bit of a massage. Big toe is getting a little bit of a massage. Good. Okay, move it around the joint gently. Gently. Just move that joint around. It's a joint like all the other joints in your body. Okay, and then go in the other direction. Bend and straighten it because there's two joints here. It's the ball of the foot, and then there's the one above it, just underneath the nail. So just
Let them get out.
oh, letting the buttons get out.
Driving me crazy.
Yeah. So make sure you're bending and straightening into those little joints. Okay, gently, gently. Okay. Now let's go to the second toe. Do the same thing. So this is something that you never do, right?
Right.
Who does this regularly? Nobody. Nobody.
My husband.
You make like you move your, well, your husband does it for you. Oh, you're lucky.
I never heard of that before.
So wiggle into that second toe, moving it around. You know, just getting some space in there into the joints, bending and straightening the joints. Be gentle too, because sometimes, you know, some toes get a little bit of arthritis in there. And so just being gentle, but it's really good for your toes, just getting them moved around. Okay. And then you can get into that third toe when you're ready. Again, moving around, make sure you're breathing, noticing. And it's also highly beneficial if you can touch your feet. It's good thing to be able to touch your feet. And if you can't touch your feet, people at home, work towards touching your feet to be able to reach and touch your feet. Even just to put the socks on. Okay, now let's go into the fourth toe. Around. And notice what you're feeling as well too, because sometimes, you know, you don't feel as maybe as much in that toe. Sometimes you do, just depends. Okay, and then let's get into that little toe. Wiggle around. Good. You're getting your hands a little workout too. Okay. Now wiggle those toes around and then see if you can spread out the toes a little bit more. Good. Good. And then release it. Then you're going to take your hands and you're going to move your fingers in between the toes as much as you can. Again, don't force it. Some fingers will not fit between some of your toes, and it's okay. You just do the best you can do. So either on the top or underneath. Okay, so whatever works better for you. Okay. And it might be really intense. Okay, the sensations might be really, really strong here for some people. Some people it might not make any difference, but for some people it's going to be really intense and they're even going to have trouble breathing. Notice that, okay? Stay here for a moment. Okay. Good. And then you can release that. Okay, and you might feel, okay, there's a lot of tinglies going on. And then we're going to come into the arch of the foot. So we're going to give ourselves a little massage in the arch of the foot. So the arch. that part of the foot. Okay. So just massaging into that arch. So up to the ball of the feet, over to the side, into the arch. And again, gentle. Everyone's threshold is a little bit different. So some people are going to be able to apply a lot of pressure, some people can't. And that's totally fine. Okay, then work your way down into your heel, and then just start doing just little kind of like little squeezes into the heel. And put the push into it with your thumb, but little like kind of little squeezes, like you're pinching the heel. There's a lot of hard skin down there. That's good for a reason, right? It's to protect your heel. Okay. Good. And then let go of that. Give your foot a shake. What time is it? 22. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's do the other foot now. So we're going to wiggle the toes a little bit. And then we're going to bring our fingers and we're going to come in. And this side might be different. And it's okay if it is. Oh, that's not what we did. Well, we'll do this first. Backwards. Yeah, it's totally fine. Whatever. We'll wiggle the toes in a moment. Yeah. So just hold it here. And you can just massage, maybe go around little circles if you want to. And you might not even be able to do that, and that's okay. Just notice what you notice. Those toes around. Okay, and then you can let go, and then we'll move those toes around, which we were supposed to be doing before. So start with the big toe, and we'll just move it around in circles. And again, gentle. Just a little joint. And all the other little joints, so bend and wiggle them too. Okay, so you're going to be bending into those joints. You'll notice where the joints are. Okay, I'm just trying to get into those joints a little bit. And only go as much as you can do, okay? And make sure you're breathing. Okay, let's get into that second toe, the same thing, around in circles, getting into those joints, wiggling around. I highly recommend getting foot massages if you can. If you have a loved one that would do it for you, that's even better. Or go get a pedicure, which I'm going to get this afternoon. Treat yourself. Yes, because it's important. Okay, then the third toe. Do that again. Third toe, getting in there, wiggling the toe around, getting into those joints. Don't worry if the joints aren't working very well. As long as you're paying attention to that, it's all good. And let's do that fourth toe, wiggling around. And then into the pinky toe. Go around. Sometimes that pinky toe is just along for the ride. Okay, and then let go of those toes, spread them apart again as wide as you can, and then release, and then we're going to massage into the arch of the foot. So either with two hands or one hand, up to you. Okay. Just give yourself a little massage. And again, it can be gentle if you need that, or put a little bit more pressure. You should be able to feel those bones. The foot has a lot of bones. Can't remember. 73 or something like that. But the foot has a lot of bones, and they're all little tiny bones. Okay, and then we'll get it into that heel. And then start just to, if you can, push into the, with your thumb, or just do little pinches into the heel. Because that skin is really quite tough. Again, it's tough for a reason. More moments. Okay, and then we can let the back foot go, give them a shake again. Okay, so you're either going to be sitting in a chair, or if you can stand up, right? If you can't, then you just sit, okay? You're going to get your scarf or whatever you have at home, okay? And you're just gonna drop it onto the ground.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you can either stand up or not. So you can do it with just sitting down. Okay. Okay, so all we're gonna do is drop that scarf onto the ground, and you're going to, you can choose which foot you're gonna go into first. You're gonna see if you can pick up the scarf with your toes. Pick it up. And grab hold of it. Again, you can do this on the chair. Drop it again, do the other foot. So we're just gonna go back and forth, back and forth. And you can grab, bring it up to your hand or not. You can just drop it down to the other foot. As long as the idea is just picking it up with your toes. Okay, dropping it back down, picking it up with your other toes. Okay. Now, as we're doing this, notice how the rest of your body is acting or reacting to it. Notice what you're doing with your face. Notice if you're breathing as you're trying to pick the scarf up or whatever you're trying to pick up. Are you scrunching in? Are you doubling over? Are you comfortable? Are you breathing? Are you pausing your breath? Are you clenching your teeth?
It's a long scarf.
It doesn't, you pick up whatever you can. You don't have to pick up the whole thing. As long as you lift it up a little bit off the ground, that's the whole point. See if you can do it by standing up as tall as you can or sitting up as tall as you can. And then just getting those toes. And then if that's not that much of a challenge, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, see if you can close your eyes and just feel with your toes picking up the scarf so you're not looking at it. Okay.
It's like being a monkey.
Almost. Well, you know, monkeys have really great dexterity in their toes, right? I mean, they can pick up, they can peel a banana with their toes. Can we? Although there are some people that can do amazing artwork with their toes, right? They can eat with their toes, they can drink with their toes, they can do a lot of things, probably even peel bananas with their toes. There are some people because they've had to, you know, adjust to using their toes. And it is possible. It's just that we haven't been offered that. We haven't done it because we don't have to.
People could paint with their toes.
People can, and it's absolutely beautiful artwork, like famous painters that have they have exhibits and everything. Like they're beautiful artwork. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can not look down. See if we can bring our head back to neutral between the shoulders and just reach for the scarf with our toes and pick it up and bring it back down. Don't worry about how high it's going. Okay, maybe you can do it with your eyes closed. Just reaching and feeling with your feet. Just reaching and feeling with your feet. Don't worry about if you can grab it with your hands. It doesn't matter. If you want to do that, go ahead. But see if you can just make sure that you have good posture here and try not to look what you're doing. You're lifting it up. It's totally fine. The idea is to work with your toes. And while you're trying to lift up with one foot, what are you doing with the other foot? What that is that other foot? Pardon me?
I'm spreading my toes.
Good, excellent.
I need the balance.
Well, the toes give you balance, right?
Yeah.
But when you're picking up with your one foot, what is the other foot doing? Notice how it's balanced into the ground. Are you leaning more into your toes, into the ball of your foot, into your heel? Are you unbalanced? Are you leaning onto the outside of the foot a little bit more? Are you leaning into the inside? So these are all things that you should be aware of. Okay. This is all what we're doing here is practicing for what we do out there. Because when we're out there, we're just minding our own business, walking along, doing what we're doing. But you wouldn't believe how many times we're using our feet for things we're not even aware that we're doing. And then we're lifting up a foot and then we're doing something else with the other foot and we're not aware of how we're holding that foot. And then we sprain our ankle. We hurt ourselves somehow or another because we're not paying attention. So need to bring that awareness here to really pay attention to what we're doing in our feet. Okay. Then once you've done enough and you just take a moment, because that was a lot of work on your feet, you should be able to feel that. All the muscles and joints worked in your feet. You should definitely feel your feet now. They did a workout. Yes. Yes, they did. They're hot. They're tired. I mean, I definitely can feel there's lots of blood moving around through the feet. So let's take a moment, close your eyes, and just notice that. And while you're noticing it, how are you placing your feet? So if you're sitting in a chair, bend your knees so you're placing your feet flat onto the ground. And just feel the connection of your feet into the ground. And see if you can notice that all 10 toes are equally into the ground. Or just bend them to your knees. Okay, and then notice the way the ball of the foot is connected into the ground. And then we have that inside edge, which is your arch area. And then the outside edge of your foot, make sure that's somewhat balanced. And then also into the heel. So we want to have equal placement here. So there's 3 points in your feet when you're standing. Okay, so there's the big toe and the big toe mound, the little toe and the little toe mound, and the heel, the middle of your heel. Those are the 3 points that should be totally balanced, like a triangle. Okay, we'll just take a few moments here, just seeing if you can get that balanced. Breathe and notice. Okay, let's take a nice big breath in through your nose. Slide out through your mouth. Good. Okay, then we're going to shake. Shake, 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 shake. And then you can either relax in your chair or lie down. Great. So in a chair or lie down, get comfortable again. And then once you're either in your chair or on the ground, just notice how your feet are feeling. We worked our feet a lot today. So bring your awareness to those feet. Boy, it really got hot in here, didn't it? Whew. Notice your feet. Notice your toes. Notice the arch of your feet. Notice your heel. Notice your ankle. And because your feet are attached to the rest of your body, slowly move your attention up your body, nice and slowly, and noticing what's going on up there. Because we used our feet, the ankles were used, the calf, the tibia, and all those muscles around the tibia, the knee. The knees were used. We were bending into the knees. So up into the quads, even into the hip flexors. Everything is connected. So what you're doing on one part of the body is connected to the other part of the body. Maybe you even noticed it in the shoulders or in the chest or the back when we were doing things with your feet. And it's also where how you're holding your body as well too. But since everything is connected, sometimes what we do down there in our feet, you notice it maybe in your shoulders or your neck or your jaw or somewhere else in the body. So see if you can notice that. And it'll just be some sensation that maybe you didn't expect or you feel. And then take a nice big breath through the nose. Nice big breath. Fill your whole body up. Expand it all the way down into your feet. Feel some space happening everywhere in the body. In fact, in every cell in your body. And then sigh it out. Just let it go. And then we're going to do that 2 more times. So just fill yourself up, thinking about the space you've created, and you're creating it with every single inhalation. Spreading out everything, and then let it go. Let it go. Let it go back to normal again. And then one more time, fill yourself up. So we're not forcing anything. We're just feeling that expansion in through the body, every cell in the body, all the way down to your toes, all the way up to the crown of your head. And then sigh it out. And then come back to that easy, comfortable, regular rhythm of your breath. And let yourself settle once more. Come back to yourself. Give your body time and permission to settle and relax and find a little bit of ease and peace with where you are at this moment. Very peacefully allow your breath to deepen. And just gently bringing your awarenesses back to this place, this present moment, to yourself, to your body. Very slowly, you're going to start to wiggle your fingers and then wiggle your toes. And then gently, maybe moving your head from side to side. And then you're going to give yourself a nice little stretch. Lengthen. Okay. And then we'll come up into a seat, however you'd like to sit. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. Just close your eyes again and just settling yourself once more in this new position. I'm just going to do a little breathing exercise before we finish. So the breathing exercise is just breathe and pause. So we're just going to take a breath in, not a big breath, just a normal breath in. Then we're just going to take a moment to pause. So don't breathe, don't hold it. We're not holding the breath. We're just pausing before we exhale it out. So then when you're ready, you just exhale it out. And then we'll do that again. Take a breath in. And then just pause. Don't do anything. And then release the breath. So we shouldn't be struggling here. Okay, let's do that again. Just fill yourself up just as much as you're comfortable. Okay, it doesn't have to be an overabundance. And then just pause. Stop what you're doing. And then let it go. Let's do that again. Fill yourself up, breathe in, pause, then breathe out. And then see at the end of the exhale if you can take another pause there before you have to breathe in. And it doesn't have to be very much. And then breathe in when you're ready. Take another moment to pause. And then let that breath out. Pause at the end of the exhale. And then inhale. Pause. This is the last one. Exhale it out. Pause. And then regular breathing. So let it go. Take a few moments to notice. And then take some time to reflect on your practice, what you noticed about the practice today. What your intention was to practice today. I mean, the practice was very, very simple, but it might not have been that simple. There might have been a little bit of a struggle there, maybe with toes not wanting to separate, you getting frustrated. It's all okay. But just notice what came up out of your practice, what you noticed about it. And it's not that we're trying to get, there's really no goal here. There's just, we're trying to make things a little bit more at ease in our bodies, at ease in our lives, so that, you know, the practice today, we worked on our feet so that our feet won't hurt. So our feet will take us to the places that we need to go, so that we are aware when things are going on with our feet, because they are a part of the body. We need to have access to them. Okay, then bring your hands towards your heart, bow your head, and then take some time to feel grateful. Feel grateful, first of all, that you have feet and that they are taking you to all the different places. And if you're, struggling with your feet, then You know, you did something beneficial for yourself today, regardless you did. So feeling grateful and feeling grateful for all the energy that we shared in this space today. And we will finish with Om. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh out. Breathe in for Om. Om. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We